Right, guys. Welcome to the podcast. We're live. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you, Nathan. Good to hear your voice.
Welcome, Spencer.
What's going on, man? How y'all doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Right, let's start with the Crawford Spence fight unification. What unification? Because you weren't here last week, so I want to hear your opinion on this, Spencer.
Listen, it was definitely a shock that the fight went the way it went to me. I expected Bud to win. I thought Bud was going to win. I think Bud was the better boxer and everything going in. But I did not think it was going to be as easy as Bud made it seem like. Arrow was supposed to be his toughest challenge, and it looked like one of his easiest fights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know like why they would have a rematch after that. I don't know what Arrow could do differently. That what he's gonna like. How is he gonna approach the fight differently? Because he approached that fight how he approached all his other fights, and it didn't help him. I think Bud didn't even do anything. Bud didn't even get out of second gear. So imagine imagine if Bud really was to like switch around and like have Arrow come towards him and lead him, just keep count it was just crazy. He was countering them great, but then he was just flicking off the jab at him. It's like it wasn't nothing that Bud was doing that wasn't effective.
I agree.
And they got this thing where Bud had spoke out on there's the fights that he's gonna have afterwards. I don't know why he's bringing up Tank's name, but he brought up Tank Davis. He brought up obviously Charlo. Charlo is more reasonable because he's a guy not for long, but he's the undisputed guy at the weight above him. So I could understand that, but you talk about he's not going to fight Boots Ennis because Boots is a lose-lose situation for him. If he beats him, people are going to be like, you beat a novice. If he loses to him, then they're going to be like, you lost to a novice. So it's a lose-lose situation for Bud, so he's not going to take
How
him.
could somebody 29-0 be a novice?
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's what he's trying to,
Yeah,
get at.
I get it. I get what he's saying. Yeah.
And truth be told, Boots can. I don't know. Like Bud is kind of long in the tooth. I don't know if they'll ever get to a Bud fight because like Ennis got a little bit of youth on his side. I think he's 29, 28, something like that, and he could fight the guys that Bud is about to have to fight if he stays at 147. You're gonna have to get a fight with Bud. If he beats Stanionis, if he beats whoever else is the mandatories or whatever the case is, and he takes all those mandatory spots, then Bud's gonna have to fight him. I don't think he could do anything with Bud right now. Bud is just is a level or two above him.
Right.
But
I thought Tank Davis called Bud out, not the other way around.
I mean, he would welcome the fight is basically what he was saying. He was like, he would welcome a fight against Tank. He would fight Charlo because those are money fights. Those are big money fights. So he would fight those guys. But Ennis is really not a big money fight. And then, as I said, he said if he beats him in a then it's not going to really give him an extra notch on his belt or anything like that. He done beat the guy at welterweight already. So
right. I was listening to Floyd today being interviewed about the fight, and he didn't really want to take sides, but he said if he was training Spence, he would have him move up to 160, not even 154, like to go up to 160 and fight at 160. Which, I think he has to fight at 154 or 160 now. He's just, too depleted at that weight. He should have did it a while ago. But anyway, not taking nothing away from Bud. I thought that Spence was just overreaching. Bud was making him overreach and lean down, and he just would counter him with left hands to the head.
Yeah,
Right,
all night.
Right.
I hate to bring this to a close, but this is last week's news. We're over pushing
Yeah,
it.
yeah. No. Thank you for allowing me to
Yeah.
speak out on it.
Is there anything else from last week you wanted to talk about from last week's show
Nah,
that you didn't get to talk about?
No,
We'll give you one
that's
more.
cool. No, we good. We could go.
Right, let's move on to the next thing. Dillian Whyte is an idiot. He failed a PEDS test, or he failed a drugs test, pulled out of the fight. Luckily, the card has managed to stay together because Robert Helenuis has stepped in. Last week, Robert Helenuis, I don't know if you guys knew, he had a fight last week against Finland's number 3. So he comes off a win after that Wilder defeat. So he goes into this fight. He probably doesn't deserve it, but it could be worse, couldn't it? I don't think it's a bad replacement.
No,
I don't. You want to go first, Spencer? Go ahead.
he better knock him out. I know that much.
Yeah,
AJ.
AJ needs to do that. So Helenuis is actually in shape. He only fought a week ago, and he knocked his opponent out. I saw the fight. He did very well. And the other thing about this fight is Helenuis is slower, and AJ should be able to outbox him with straighter punches, but he does have power. So if he doesn't knock him out, then it doesn't really set up a Wilder fight, really, a lot of interest in a Wilder fight.
Not at all.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah,
Dillian Whyte, I have it down below. I should have left it up here. Accuses Eddie Hearn of tainting his food or drink, and that's how it happened. That he tested positive. That's wacko.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'll give my opinion.
Go ahead.
I think it's a great fight, but it could have been worse, couldn't it? I mean, the only thing that does worry me is that obviously Joshua fought a non-puncher in his last fight, and Helenuis, in my opinion, is probably better than Jermaine Franklin, slightly better.
He's dangerous, that's for sure.
He's got that punch. That's the thing. If you can punch, you've got a chance against Joshua. He's fragile. He needs to win this fight by knockout. This can't go the 12 rounds. If it does, people are going to ask more questions, aren't they? We're going to ask more questions and answers.
I hope he knock him out in the first round so that everybody will be clamoring for a Wilder AJ fight.
Yeah, but we know that's not going to happen. It's going to take him like 7, 8, or 9, even 9 rounds to break him down.
Yeah, it's possible. It's definitely possible. I got you, but he better stop him because didn't he go the distance with Whyte?
Yeah.
I mean, Helenuis and Whyte went the distance.
He went the distance with Helenuis about 7, 8 years ago. That's when Helenuis was decent.
Yeah, that's when Helenuis did. Was he his first loss?
No, his first loss was
Duhaupas, right? Duhaupas, right? The Duhaupas.
That was a while ago.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm expecting AJ to get some rounds in, but still knock him out because I think AJ should be too much for him. Ain't Helenuis like 38 or something?
Yeah, he's getting up there.
But all I was saying is Joshua's gone 36 rounds in his last 3 fights. So he's had plenty of rounds in the last year and a half. 36 rounds is pretty good. If this goes 12 rounds.
According to him, he's still learning.
So all those rounds, the more rounds, the better. As long as he ain't getting tagged. Well, he was getting tagged up in 24 of those 36 rounds.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, Usyk had him going that last fight in the 9th round.
Yeah, because AJ actually did well in the second Usyk fight. Well, he did better in the second Usyk fight than he did in the first one. But then after that 9th round, he just didn't have nothing else.
But Joshua needs to win. I mean, when I look at the list of opponents, Hrgović would have been a horrible opponent, too good. And Chisora would have been horrible because he's not good enough. And then also, if Ruiz had priced himself out of the fight, he would have probably beaten Joshua in current form. So really, every time Joshua fights, I get nervous now. Can you see it? You can see it in Eddie Hearn's face, go. Every time Joshua fights, he's now nervous in case he loses.
Yeah, he can't afford to have him losing to these guys. If he loses, let him lose to a Fury or a Wilder, where the fight is going to be.
Not a Helenuis or a Hrgović, yeah.
Yeah, where the fight is going to make them like maybe close to nine figures.
But I can understand why Hrgović didn't want the fight. Why should he probably get paid more money? But why would you give a guaranteed title shot? He could even get he may even get the belt through the back door, become an email champion. So why would you give that up? You wouldn't, would you? If you had any common sense,
No.
You'd keep your title shot in your hands,
Yeah, but Hrgović gonna lose to whoever the hell he fights for that belt.
Yeah, let's move on to the next fight. Hrgović against McKean, and Tom heard of this. What? Wait,
this ain't for the because this has still got the thing. This is just a stay busy fight for him.
Is a WBA gold champion. So let's move on to the Hrgović-McKean fight. And Tom's worded, does Dempsey McKean have a chance? And I say no chance in hell.
Yeah, no chance. Yeah, Hrgović should be 3 levels above this guy, so he should be able to beat him easily.
You think it goes to knockout?
I think so.
Yeah, Hrgović is very brutal.
Yeah, I just didn't like him against Zhang, but Zhang is showing that he could fight.
Yeah,
he's got some ability.
He gasses out. It's a good thing he stopped Joyce when he did, because he gasses out in the late rounds.
From what I've seen of Hrgović, I think he's a work in progress and he's only going to get better. That's what I believe. You've got to be fair to him. He's 20. Well, he's 29. He's not as old as the others, but he's still getting better. He's shown me enough improvement in his fights, and I believe he will win a top. It just won't be against the top guys. It'll be against
now the Zhang fight. Hopefully, we're gonna see how he's. Who has he fought since Zhang?
Hrgović?
Yeah.
He's fought nobody.
Nobody. Not that I'm aware of.
He didn't fight since Zhang, right?
That's correct.
I was gonna say, like sometimes fighters need that type of tough fight in order to, refocus themselves. I guess, for lack of better words or whatever. They say you might have to go through some fire, in order to get, come out on the other side kind of better. You know what I mean? Iron sharpens iron type of thing.
Yeah, well, he came off his father. His father got sick or died, and his head wasn't on straight for a while.
Okay, that could be it too.
He canceled the fight because of that. So, yeah, he's got to get his head back into the game and just train, because he's knocking on the door.
There's another fight on this card I want to discuss, and that is Derek Chisora against Gerald Washington. That's a good fight. I like that fight. I really.
You said Gerald Washington?
He's fighting Derek Chisora on this card.
Yeah.
Derek Chisora should knock him out.
He should is a brave word, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I've never I've ranked Washington the same way I rank Brazil. Like, those two guys is not really great boxers to me. They was athletic dudes because they was like former football players or whatever, but they're not really good boxers to me. They never really posed any real threats to any of the top guys, I don't think.
Yeah.
That's why I think Chisora should be able to knock out Washington. Washington got a decent enough jab. He's tall, so
but he's got no
maybe
chin. He's got
Yeah,
no
he,
chin.
yeah, and Chisora's going to be swinging for the fences. So, so
Yeah.
Did you know Gerald Washington is half Mexican? Guys,
is what?
he's half Mexican. Believe it or not.
Yeah, because his nickname is some craziness.
El
Yeah,
Negro.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But he's still not all that great.
You could see it in his face. But he's had a bunch of recent losses, over the past few years since
Yeah.
17. Wilder knocked him out. Miller beat him. He got
did beat
TKO'd
Helenuis.
by
But
Kawanaki. Charles
he did
Martin
beat Helenuis.
TKO'd him. Helenuis, yeah. He knocked him out, actually.
Yeah.
But his last fight in 2022, he got TKO'd by Ali Eden Demarizian.
Yeah, Demirzian's not a bad fight. Charles Martin knocked him out 3 years ago.
Yeah, man. So
No,
he's definitely.
He's got a respectable record.
Well, let's see how it goes.
He had Wilder doing the windmill, though.
He did.
How long ago was that? It's got to be about 5 years ago.
When he fought Wilder, what was that? Yeah, 2017, I think, right?
That's right, yeah. February of 17.
Right, let's move on to the next thing, which is Valdez against Navarrete.
This is a good
I think
fight.
Oscar Valdez will win. I think Valdez will win.
You think Valdez? Yeah. I don't know.
Is it a new weight?
Hard. Nah, I think it's a new way for Navarrete, right?
I think so, yeah.
Navarrete the one moving up, because I think they fighting at what is it, 130, right?
I think so.
And Navarrete the one moving up. I think he's the one moving up. Yeah. But Valdez, he hasn't impressed me at 130. He did beat the hell out of Burchell, but
he KO'd him viciously.
Yeah, but ever since then, I don't know. He hasn't, we know he lost to Shakur. He should have lost to Homeboy, the other dude, just before Shakur. What is it, Santiago? I think that was his name.
Yeah.
Let's see. Santiago.
Who did?
Who did who?
I was gonna say who did
record.
Yeah, it was the fight just before Shakur, I believe.
I can't remember.
Anyway, these guys are scrappers. They're tough guys.
Yeah, this should be a nice fight because of the styles. It should be a war.
Right. Well, the thing about Valdez is I think he has quicker hands, and Navarrete punches a little wide. So he should be able to outgun him in that respect in terms of the speed factor.
Yeah.
And the punching factor. And he has
Who did
he
this
has
list?
power.
I wonder if Navarrete was too big for the weight, and that's why he's moving up.
Well, he is a big guy. He's got a big frame.
So he might be more comfortable. He might even have more power at this weight.
It's possible, but we don't know until we see it, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is, I think, his first fight because he was just the 126 WBO champ, right?
Yeah, he was.
So
he was, but he didn't hold it very long. So,
is this for a title? Ain't this for like the WBO 130?
Yeah,
it's 130. It is. Yeah. That's correct. That's what it is.
Valdez lose his title in this last fight, and he's going up a weight. Is that correct?
Nah, Valdez lost to Shakur. I thought he had a fight since Shakur, but he lost to Shakur.
Pretty bad.
I'm going to pick Valdez to win this in the late rounds.
Oh, you think it's stoppage?
Yeah, I think he'll stop him. If his head's on right, he suffers from depression.
Valdez is the man who ended Scott Quigg's career at the time. Put it mildly.
Yep.
Yep.
Right, let's move on. Jake Paul defeats Nate Diaz. Do we care? Really, I mean, do we care?
I don't really care. I thought Nate actually was tagging him a few times, but he was so much smaller. These fights, it's like when he went up against a legitimate light heavyweight, he lost, to Fury.
Lost. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And Fury was only a 7-fight novice. That's the difference. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the big difference. That is a big difference. So Jake, he picks fights that he can win, except for Fury. He hasn't really been in trouble except for Fury. Didn't he have? He had Fury down once in that fight, twice, didn't he?
Nathan?
He did have Fury down. Nathan is there.
Yeah. Did Jake knock down Tom Fury?
He did.
In the last round.
So Jake got some growing. I don't know, man.
He should get better, but he's a YouTuber. YouTube level is what he should stay at.
People getting mad because he having fights like these, and he's getting paid the amount of money he's getting paid for it.
It's because the people under the age of 25, under the age of 20 are paying for it. The people who don't watch boxing. That's the crowd, the demographic that's paying for it.
Yeah. Hey. That ain't me, so. Clarissa says she'll fight Jake Paul.
I know that's one of the topics, but do we really want to see that? Or we don't want, I don't know. Clarissa could outbox him, but he's so much bigger and heavier.
How much does Jake Paul weigh?
I think he comes in.
Before we move on to the next thing, there's one more YouTube thing I want to bring up. And that's KSI will be fighting Tommy Fury. So Tommy Fury is now a proper YouTube fighter. So he's found his level. I think he's found his level.
Yeah. Listen, he could fight these guys and make millions and get some wins under his belt, and it's going on his record.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. He could be at the family functions. He'd be like, Huey, at least my record is under. Did Tommy Fury lose a fight yet?
Could you imagine sitting around the table?
No. He's undefeated.
Could you imagine around at Christmas the Fury sitting around the table? Oh yeah, Tommy, I heard you beat an influencer, and I beat all the best champions in the world at heavyweight. He
said, but he said, but at least I still got my zero. I'm not like Huey with a couple of losses.
Yeah. He doesn't even have a draw. His older brother Tyson Fury has a draw.
Yeah, he's like, he said, I'm making millions, Tyson. Ain't he the one that was on Bachelor 2 or whatever that damn Love Island or something?
Yep.
He's a celebrity of the thing. He's a celebrity. Like his fame is almost as high as Tyson Fury's fame. That's crazy.
There it is. What were you saying, Nathan?
We'll move on to the next thing, which is, let me find the list again.
Floyd announces he's in negotiations.
Do we care?
A rematch. Well, somebody cares. For John Gotti. Remember the guy that had the riot in the ring?
Yeah. They're going to rematch?
Yeah.
That's funny.
How does a mobster's son make that much money? I don't make any sense.
It's not his son, it's his grandson.
Well, no, it's his son, because John Gotti Jr. was a gangster too.
The son of the son.
Right.
Yeah.
He wasn't the Teflon Don, but Junior was a little slight gangster too. I heard.
Yeah, they tried to nail him, but he didn't quite get it. But yeah, he was involved, but they couldn't. They were reaching. The Rico act was reaching. I think he beat him in court.
Oh, okay.
I was always in favor of freeing John Gotti. But that's another story.
Free John Gotti.
Yeah. Leave everything on Saturday.
Let's move on. Amanda Serrano is victorious over Hardy. She's going to do MMA next, apparently.
I guess she's got to go where the money is,
She's going in the PFL. That's cool. That's cool. That's good.
That's okay.
Yeah, she should be able to, because she competed at MMA. It ain't like she's just starting out at MMA. She's fought at MMA before.
Isn't she like 2-1 in MMA?
Sorry?
I don't know her record in MMA, but I know she fought there.
Yeah. Right. So what's next on the list? Thurman will be fighting Chris Woods.
No, they're calling for it, but I can't see that.
Who?
Thurman and Clarissa Shields. Shields is calling these guys out, man.
She's like, ain't nobody else to fight. Like, there's no more female fighters that she could make money against. Savannah was the biggest fight, and she done beat her. So, like, this, unless Layla come out of retirement or Ann Wolf or somebody.
Ann Wolf is not coming out of retirement. She's enjoying her life.
Yeah, so, like, Ann Wolf is older anyway. Like, she better not try to fight Clarissa.
She's heavy. Forget it. She's not doing that.
I think, we can move on. Loma avoids Shakur Stevenson. Where do both of them go now? Well, Shakur's is going to be fighting. What's going on with him? Haney's going up only to 140, right?
He's going to fight Regis.
Yeah, he's fighting Regis.
And then Shakur will win a couple of belts soon, and Loma obviously will win a vacant belt, right?
Yeah, but I don't know why they won't. I don't know why they won't set this fight up.
Yeah, it don't make
sense. It don't make sense to not have this fight next.
I think Lomo has gotten paranoid with judges and whatnot. I think he felt he won the last fight, and he actually won the fight with Lopez, and he doesn't want. Who knows what he wants? I got a story for you guys about Lomo. I fish out here in California, and there was one of the Showtime specials. They showed Lomachenko fishing off a boat that I fish off of, and I got in the conversation with the captain, and the captain was trying to tell him how to catch this particular fish, and he says, "Don't tell me how to fish," and everybody was catching them except him. And then he went out on the boat twice, and at the end, he didn't even tip the crew. They didn't tip the crew.
This is one of your friends. This is one of your friends.
This is actually the captain of the boat, who I know. We happened to get on that story about 2 weeks ago, and Lomachenko, with all that money and whatnot, they never even tipped the mates or anything.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. So with this fight, before we move on, I believe.
To be fair to Lomachenko, Tom, and that wherever he's from, that might not be a custom.
I don't know. They said he had a really bad attitude. They were trying to help him, and
I was just talking about the tipping part, the attitude.
Oh yeah, well that's probably. I don't know how it works anywhere else, but those guys, they don't make a lot of money. They live off tips. The crew. Anyway, that I was surprised to hear that.
That's funny. That's funny.
All right, we're moving on to what here now? Nathan?
Yeah.
What are we moving on to here? Logan Paul versus Dillian Danis at the AO Arena. So how is the Manchester reacting to that?
It's pretty good. They like it. I think it's a good fight. I know a little bit about Dylan Dennis here, but I'd expect Logan Paul to win comfortably.
Who's Dylan Dennis?
Nathan, give us the skinny on Dylan Dennis. Are you there, Nathan?
I'm keeping it a secret.
Oh, he's MMA. He's a Bellator guy, Dylan Dennis.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, okay. Okay, so but this is boxing.
Yeah. Right. Again. But has he done any like TV shows or anything? Is he popular over there in England? You know?
Yeah. So, should we move on?
I think that's it. I mean, the next thing we already talked about, Jake Paul versus Shields. And we also talked about Dillian Whyte's claim.
I want to get people's opinion about Dillian Whyte and what an idiot he's been.
Well, I think he's trying to save a sinking ship right now. He's even accusing Eddie of tainting his food and drink, and that's why he tested. But didn't he get popped before? He was popped and then exonerated, but he was even popped before that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is like his fourth damn pop because he got popped early in his career, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And then he got it again, but then he was exonerated by the British sport of boxing. And now this, you know.
Yeah, this is not good.
No, I think this is probably going to put the coffin in, the nail in the coffin for him. Who's going to fight him after this?
He could fight Jarrell Miller.
He'll get his head handed to him if he fights him, but why not?
That would be a fight that he could get.
Yeah, with no drug.
But he got popped in 2012 for 2 years. Then he got popped in 2018 after the fight with the Colombian guy, Rivas.
Right. He had got popped after Rivas.
Yeah, in 2018.
Right. And then he had got popped in a fight. What was the fight? The Franklin? Was it the Franklin fight?
Yeah, I believe it was, yeah.
But then they let it go on or something.
Maris Wack, he was someone in the Wack fight, supposedly,
And they let it go on because he said something. They let it go on still. Yeah, like he can't really be mad because he had a career after getting popped a couple of times. He still was able to get a couple of paydays.
Yeah.
And he says he insisted on VADA. So he's gonna dispute it.
Yeah. I wanted to.
You wanted to what?
I was reading. There was nothing. Fabio Wardley's apparently left. Dillian Whyte. He's just on the front one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a good move, do you think?
Let me see if I can find out what it signs with Warren.
Says Fabio Wardley.
Signed.
He's been ordered to defend his title back in April.
Yeah.
Against
I've forgotten his name, that other guy who's rubbish. That other prospect. I can't remember his name. But you know who I mean, anyway. Right, I'm going to talk about a flashback fight. About does anybody remember when David Hay fought Mark Mormek for the title?
Momek. Vaguely, it was a while ago. I don't remember,
I remember that Enzo fight.
Well, terrible. I remember watching it. I was down at my friend's house. I'd had a few lines of cocaine, shall I say, which I shouldn't admit to. And I was out of my head. And I got my pizza to the door. By the time I came back from getting my pizza, he'd already got knocked out. The time I got my pizza. and had my liner coat.
Yeah.
Well, did you learn your lesson?
Yeah. Don't go in the toilets and sniff cocaine while there's a fight going on because you don't know when it's going to.
Yeah, don't leave don't leave before it starts.
Do that shit right in front of the TV screen. Nah.
And one more
Or
thing I want to talk
something.
about.
Yes, sir.
One more thing I want to talk about is the new Creed film. Has everybody seen that yet? The new Creed 3.
Yeah.
Creed?
It's not very good, is it?
Well,
I think
wait a
it's
minute.
terrible.
Which movie? Creed? Did you say?
Creed 3.
Yeah.
Creed 3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think we talked about this. Yeah, I saw
Okay.
it. I thought the guy who played his friend who went to prison did a great job. I thought he did a great acting job.
And one more film. Did anybody see The Great White Hope, which had James Earl Jones playing Jack Johnson back in the 80s?
I saw it. I saw it on Broadway with James Earl Jones.
I've seen that years ago.
Yeah.
The best
That was
film I've seen.
boxing
film I've seen was that George Foreman film. Do you remember the bit where he steals his George Foreman sneakers?
That was that wasn't no great movie.
I'll tell you.
I think what's it called was better than that. Raging Bull was better than that.
Oh yeah.
I was in that film.
Raging Bull?
Yeah, I'll send you a photo of me of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You never got me down. You never got me down, Ray. You never got me down, Ray.
We reached the end because there wasn't a lot to really discuss. Did you want to go over anything from last week because we're only at the 35-minute mark?
I think we pretty much covered it. It's the main thing this week is AJ. We got a couple of good fights coming up soon, which should be interesting.
Yeah, but we're going to. Yeah, we're going to tackle those for the next week's show.
I'm thinking.
I hope AJ. Okay.
If we could do a midweek show.
Maybe. Yeah. All right.
Well, I'll do a midweek show or something.
All right.
All right. See you later, guys.
Take care.
All right, later, y'all.
I take care.
Tom, are you playing music